Things we think say are due. First,
Use the truth.
second,
Sincerely all concerned.
third,
Will never friendships.
fourth,
Will be beneficial to all concerned.
and Joy tells me out in Arizona they add a fifth way. Is it fun?
It's a good one. Thank you, team two. We're going to do things a little different today. I'm going to ask District Governor John Stigers to come up. We do have a special presentation for a local student, but she needs to get back to class, so we need to get this done first. So thank you, John.
Standing next to me, I have what a great name, as Goodness Israel. How good is that name? So, Goodness is with us because she has received the Muneer Peak Scholarship from District 6740. If you're not familiar with the Muneer Peak Scholarship, this was started several years ago by two gentlemen, Madden Peak. At that time, they decided to develop a scholarship that would benefit international students who ran into financial difficulties in any university or college in our district. The qualifications for a Muneer Peak Scholarship, matter of fact, $1 of your dues each year go to the Muneer. International students currently enrolled in a college or university located within the geographical territorial boundary of District 6740 or maintain a permanent residence within said territory and be currently enrolled in either undergraduate, graduate, or postgraduate curriculum. All grants made are based solely on established monetary need. Grants may be used to supplement a student's funds for tuition, lodging or course materials. Grants source of scholarship funding for the student. Goodness comes to us from Nigeria. She is 25. She is 21 in January. She's ending her junior year at NKU in the School of Nursing. Goodness was born and raised in northern Nigeria. This is a stronghold, if you'll know much about Boko Haram. This was the stronghold of Boko Haram, a terrorist organization considered one of the deadliest in the world. Goodness' parents decided, even with the financial difficulties, due to the many attacks on higher education facilities by Boko Haram, it would be better for Goodness to continue her education in the United States. And I can attest to Boko Haram because when I was there in Cameroon in 2014 doing polio immunization, Boko Haram had just captured those 200 girls from that educational institution, of which over 100 of them are still missing. And Boko Haram had quieted down what they thought, but in February of this year, they captured another 110 girls from another educational facility. Her parents were able to secure loans to begin her education at NKU. Because of inflationary policies of the Nigerian government, raising the exchange rate of the Nigerian currency from 180 naira, is that right? 180, that's good, John. 180 naira, I didn't get a hand into that. 180 narias to the dollar to 543 narias to the dollar. This unexpected financial hardship led Goodness to apply for the Muneer Peak Scholarship from our district. The $1,500 gift was approved by the District 6740 Scholarship Committee. The scholarship will be paid directly to NKU. And so I'm going to let Goodness tell you a little bit about where she is and what she's doing at NKU. We have to leave right away because she works hard. She's very intelligent and she's got like a 4-point grade point average and did all kinds of academic awards in Nigeria, so she's gotta get back to some plans. I don't understand that, but she does.
Thank you very much, sir, for the introduction, and thank you to everyone for having me here. I am sincerely honored to be here. Thank you. My name is Goodness Israel. I am an international student from Nigeria. I am a junior with the nursing major at Northern Kentucky University. Just a few things about myself. I came into the US in 2016 to pursue my education at NKU. But before coming to the US, I was forced to spend 2 years at home after I graduated high school in 2014. And I would say this was due to the poor academic standards of many Nigerian universities and the lack of space to accommodate its high school graduates. However, my parents desired that I obtain a college degree and come to the US to further my education. When I came to NK, I struggled with adapting to the food, the weather, the culture, but the international office did a great job as students to the resources on campus, and I quickly fell in love with NKU. Some reasons why I chose NKU were due to the scholarship opportunities, the research opportunities NKU had to offer, and I had the opportunity of meeting one of NKU's representatives at the embassy back home in Nigeria. And I like saying this, on my birthday, I got my admission letter, so I was like, maybe that's a sign, I should be here. When I came to NKU, my freshman year was devoted to my academics. I had a few organizations I was passionate about. I was a member of the Norse Leadership Society, the African Student Union, the International Student Union, and during the summer I obtained my first jobs where I worked as a desk assistant with the University Connect and Persist office and also with University Housing. And getting a job in the summer with housing was very important for me because I could not afford to go back home, and I couldn't even think, I couldn't pay for the dorms too. So that job really helped cover my housing during the summer. But after the summer, I really wanted to be involved on campus, so I explored different organization opportunities, and I became a co-founder of, it's called the Grace Notes of Africa. It's an African a cappella group. I also was an ambassador for the Alpha Lambda Delta Honor Society, and all this was done trying to maintain a PO of 3.9. With all the opportunities I've gotten at NKU, I am indeed blessed to be considered as part of his family. I am grateful to everyone who has supported me, my family, most especially God, my school, and also the Rotary Club for all the support. When I told my mom about the news, she was just crying like tears of joy. So I'm really, really grateful. I pray God blesses you in everything you do. Thank you. I came with my friend today. She's back over there. Chinoya Izu. She's also from Nigeria with a nursing major. Our aim is to further education. After we obtain our Bachelor of Science in Nursing, our plan is to further education to become a nurse practitioner. I am especially determined to achieve my dreams of going back to Nigeria to create a free healthcare system where I can offer back to my community. Thank you.
I forgot to give a shout out to the Hilton for the great table settings today. Anybody notice anything different? Yeah. This looks fantastic. Thanks, Sean. I appreciate it. Okay, Sean, do we have any guests today?
We do have guests. We have Paula McPeak, who is a guest of Julia Powell. Paula, you want to stand up and tell us what you do?
Yes, my name is Paula McPeak. I have a mentoring program called Mentee at Stevens Elementary, and I've been dubbed a parent ambassador by Dr. Poe, which I'm very proud of, and I'm happy to be here with all you good people today.
Great. Welcome. Joe Lucan is back with us. Joe is with Boone Springs. It's part of Care Springs, and tell us when things are going to happen at Boone Springs. Yeah.
I am hoping to open bids right at the end of October, it's our goal date, so we'll start taking our first patients in October. And then if there's mistakes or how to go ahead and open our facilities with public. So, very excited, those are coming on great, and we're just excited to learn it down. Thank you.
Just to look at some of the elderly folks in the room. Any advanced placements are welcome. And maybe when you open up, we'll have a big, October fest, Big Ten. There you go. Clay Holmes is with us. Clay, you want to stand and tell us what you do?
Good afternoon, I'm Clay Holmes, I'm with United Bank and Capital Trust, I'm with Kay, I appreciate you inviting me. I support our branch managers implementation, which, the rest of our managers.
Great. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Well, Mr. Zach, the Reds are kind of falling on hard times again. We had bases loaded, no outs, and we got one run. The whole game, one run. So we can't complain about the taking out the Higgs going south. But I was down for the open practice at the Bengals, and there's some very big people down there.
Absolutely. I'm ready for football. Ready to go soon.
There you go. And this week we have cafeteria and Florence Freedom. First 500, free holy water. If you're not Catholic, just break the sign, they will get you holy water.
We won't have that. We'll have baseballs though, free baseballs.
Professor plays, Pope L.D. Campbell will be taking that. If you do fine, you can return to your seat. If you don't do fine, you'll be in the bullpen. So, it's gonna be a big night out there.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, announcements today. We do still need 3 people to 9 p.m. to 10. Sounds good, right? On Friday for the always help take money for, I think, 3 slots available. I want to send this around. Please sign up. Just a reminder, on October 1st, we will not be meeting here. We'll be meeting at the Boone County Library main branch in Burlington. They have an event going on here that day. Our third, community service partners are Rob's Kids and Master Provisions. I don't want to read through all the information. You can find it on your newsletter, but there's some opportunities coming up where we can our time. Specifically for Rob's Kids, we're looking for board games to bring in. That would be a great donation for those kids at the hospital. Or if you'd like to write a check, we'll take that as well. So please consider giving to one of our community service partners this quarter. I want to mention some birthdays because I saw we had a lot of birthdays this week. So yesterday was John Gay. Is John here? That was a joke. Janice Flanagan's birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday, Janice. I saw Janice. Gary Stewart is August 10th. Dennis McAvoy is August 11th. Gary Wilmhoff is August 12th. So we got a lot of birthdays coming up. Happy birthday. We're not going to sing yet. All right, another event. I want to defer to Gary a little bit on this. I'm sorry, Greg Palmer a little bit on this, but we had an event on Thursday at the Behringer Crawford Museum where we had a meeting before. They have a concert series. Greg, you want to talk about that?
When I became the assistant governor, one of the goals that I set was to find a way to get the 4 clubs in Northern Kentucky together more often to do either fun things or service. And we met with the Covington Club down at Braxton's in Covington. We had a great night. This Thursday, the Kenton County Club will be running the concession stand at the concert that the Behringer Crawford Museum puts on every Thursday during the summer. This is the last concert this summer. At 5:30, there'll be an area reserved for Rotarians. You can come just to enjoy the night, have a sandwich or a drink, and leave whenever you want. Or if you would like to help the Kenton County Club in their service work and their fundraiser, let me know and I will get you those details. But it's tonight. Love to have as many of you can come just to kind of get together with other Rotarians, and we're trying to start a little bit more collaborative efforts. We've talked a couple times already today, or in our club, about doing a joint fundraiser, and we're going to be meeting with the presidents to kind of take that to the next step. So this will just kind of help us get to know each other and get used to working together, and hopefully have some big things happen for Rotary in Northern Kentucky.
We had a couple of clubs come out to our ball game. I know you guys attended last week. The Covington, Cincinnati was there, so I really like this new initiative by the district. Consider participating in that event. I don't have a sign-up sheet on your newsletter. Okay, we'll get into our program today. We have a pinch hitter today. Dr. was not able. I'd like to have Bonnie Rich, our speaker. Kathy.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bonnie Rickard. I'm actually currently the board chair for the Board of Education at Boone County, and I do apologize that he could not be here today. We opened up orientation for 114 new certified staff teachers, so I was there this morning welcoming them to our district. Valley Shannon, the new middle school, will be getting up and going. I think they're moving in this week. The staff and the teachers are going to be moving in, so that's coming along as well. But today we have Kathy Rubin here with us. She is our Student Services, and she's going to talk to us about drug-free clubs of America that has been going really well in our schools. So, Kathy.
Thank you, Bonnie, and I am honored to be here today to talk about an initiative in Boone County schools that is dear to my heart and is something to do, but of course, selfish about. I'm going to talk about Boone County. Drug-Free Clubs of America is an initiative that was started by a fireman. The fireman had seen so many things happening out in the community with young people and drugs, all of the overdoses. We know what an epidemic we have in Boone County and in Northern Kentucky. And he decided that we needed to do something about it. So about several years ago, he started what was called Drug-Free Clubs of America, which is voluntary drug testing. So what it is that all high school students are asked to join this club. It's not a club that it has to meet. It's up to the school whether the club meets or not, but it's a card-carrying club. This club gives young people the opportunity to choose to say no. Remember, I'm gonna knock this bell over. It used to say, just say no to drugs. Well, that's really hard when you're out at a party and all of your friends are saying, we're not going to hurt you. This gives students an opportunity to make the choice to say no because they are drug tested at the beginning of their enrollment, and then they have an opportunity up to throughout to test it again, and it's no scale. But the Drug-Free Clubs organization, which is run by Angie Ferguson, is very instrumental in making this an exciting process for students. So during the first day of drug testing, all students receive a goodie bag. This goodie bag is candy bars and all kinds of things where they can go back to their classroom and say, look what I got. And here we go, look what I got. You can't have any because you didn't join. Every time that a student is drug tested, there's some kind of what we as an initiative, but silly for this piece of candy, a free look at a movie. What? I'm gonna do it. I promise. I'm trying not to. Anyhow. Was that you, Dwayne?
That was me.
Dwayne knows that I'm up here because Dwayne and I are part of a group called Hope for Boone County, which is the Portland Task Force, which is married to our Boone County Mental Health Task Force. So all of this is students' initiative to make the right choices. Again, it's cost each student $35 a year to join. What we're having trouble with in Boone County right now is that some parents say, John, I know you're not going to do drugs ever, so I'm not gonna pay that. Why should I pay $35 a year for you to join this club that I know you're not going to do anything about? That's not true. The peer pressure is so bad out there. We have testimonials from young people who say, just because I was able to say, I belong to drug-free clubs, my peers walked away from me, they didn't push me. They didn't insist that I do these drugs, or these big cocktails that they throw when they have farm parties, and they throw all the pills in. Oh, just take any one, it's not one time, it's not going to. We also have been experiencing many times in our school system right now, lots of, not overdoses, which we see in the community, but what we are experiencing is use and abuse and sale of drugs within our schools. We want to get rid of all of that. Now, it's going to take a long, long time to do that. But we believe that if every student in Boone County schools and every student in the region belongs to drug-free clubs, carries that card, and has incentives, not only during the school day, but incentives out in the community. For example, if I'm an owner of a restaurant, perhaps that owner could provide an incentive such as chili dog for any student that comes in with drug-free card, or even with Jacob here from the Y, a day at the Y because you're drug-free. Not doing drug-free club are universities. Thomas More is a board, Northern Kentucky University is a board, and we're working on scholars who may be drug-free for the whole 4 years of high, then perhaps they can get a small scholarship from Thomas More or Northern Kentucky University to go. It's one of these things that in community, I don't know, I go around and see syringes, but I know our babies are going to be. I don't know how many times that our businesses are impacted by heroin or other drugs. That's not right. We don't need that in Boone County. But you can't just say this is not. Our parents, this takes a burden off of the students. It's your opportunity to make a choice. So parents then are really happy they don't have to make that choice without support. A student comes in and they take a prescription drug and they happen to be tested that day, given permission for all of this testing and say such. So this is not only with us, the clubs and the education council, the hospital, a lot of the help us to resource for our students. The counseling. When a student is tested, when the results come back and they're positive, the school district does not know that. The only people that know if a student has tested positive is the parent and the people at drug-free clubs, the organization that's keeping the tracking. That way, we're not violating any confidentiality, but we're protecting our students. So it impacts parents, it impacts students, and you know, as when you look at the community, it impacts our workforce, it impacts our babies, because oh my goodness, how many babies are coming into us at age 3 who were born addicted to something. And that's scary. More disabilities and so forth. So we're looking at making a gigantic impact. Now, Dr. Poe tells me that 100% of all of our high school injured. I will do everything I can to do that. In each one of the schools, there is a coordinator, but this club is student-led. So the coordinators help facilitate the students so that they can rally and cheer all of the students, make sure that we are doing what's best for them. So there are a couple of things that you might consider. One might be that you could provide an incentive from your organizations for our students. One might be that you rally around drug-free clubs, and anytime you see an organization that happens to have a window cling that says we're drug-free clubs, that you frequent them too. You also might be, we need financial assistance for one thing, basically, and one thing only. That is those children who are unable to afford those jobs. We're looking at this year, instead of saying $35 a year, $35 a year, or 4 years for $25, so that parents will save money that way too. But this is a program, an incentive, an initiative that will benefit every single person in this room and this entire community. On your table, they're like this, and it just gives you the details in more detail than I had given them to you. But I would like you to take a look at them, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Hey, Kathy, so you may have mentioned this, can a business or a community group help sponsor drug-free clubs with the idea of reduce that $35 barrier? Absolutely.
We would take anything from any type of financial sponsorships, and that's very important to our students because many of them said to me, we can't, mom said no, or that would, yes.
Is there an issue, there are lots of talk about trying to address bullying. I can't, the kid was going to be wanting to fight peer pressure in one respect, so he joins a drug-free club, but then that kind of perhaps puts a target for a different kind of.
It hasn't exacerbated itself here yet.
Okay.
I haven't heard it. There are hundreds, thousands of clubs across the country. It hasn't turned a negative role, but what it has done for bullying is students to bully because they want something from someone else that they can't have. They want their lunch money. They want them to carry something. You know, we have as young as 4th graders bringing some type of drug into our school that somebody has forced them to bring in. Sometimes it's a parent, sometimes it's another student. They want them to bring their packs of marijuana in or whatever else it is to distribute. That has caused, like it used to be, you were worried about your lunch money getting taken away by a bully. Well, it's other things that are being taken away and the kids are threatened, yes. Yes, sir.
How long has this program been in Boone County?
In Boone County, we initiated it last year, and we are determined that we're going to really make a gigantic impact this year. In fact, I didn't say this, but our 4 high schools are all on board, as well as R.A. Jones Middle School. So this is our year that we're saying that last year we kind of piloted. This year we're going full force.
Janice?
Yeah, I think maybe that was great, is the DARE program still around too? And I know when my daughter was in 6th grade, how many years ago, there was a DARE program.
There's still DARE in the Florence area, but not in the county. And that's great education, especially for our younger kids. But
that's in addition to what?
Yes, this is a way for students to help themselves and not force drug testing. We do not do drug testing in Boone County except through the drug-free clubs. I know that many school districts have involuntary drug testing for sports and others. We have not chosen to do that in Boone County. Yes, sir.
What happens if student is in the club is selected for a random drug test and refuses to take the test?
They use their club membership, and the parents would know the reason, and the drug-free clubs would know the reason, but our teachers would not know, except for the fact they don't no longer appear on the list. Yes, sir.
What happens if a child would take the drug test and test positive? What do you do then?
They test positive, again, the parents are informed, and the Drug-Free Club has that information, and then we provide services to help that student through whatever it is they need. If they need a rehab, or if they need just some counseling as to why they shouldn't do it, we put all of that comes through the Drug-Free Clubs.
Other questions for Kathy? Gary?
So is there a teacher or administrator in the school that's assigned to this? You said the drug-free club is told.
Yes.
Who
There's either the assistant principal, who is a teacher in the building, and we add for a teacher who has great rapport with a large number of students. Many schools, it's a coach or an AD. In many schools, in one of our schools, it's the school, the psychology teacher in the school, someone who can relate to students very well beyond an academic level.
Do you have a dollar amount per what it would take to accomplish this? And it's hard, you know, some parents can pay,
Right.
some can't.
If I look at free and reduced lunch percentages across the district, they're about 39% right now. So if I would have to take the percentage, I could, Ryle, for example, 2,100 kids, 40% of that would be an amount that would reduce that barrier to students being able to be involved. And I'm not quick enough at math to calculate that. Yes, sir.
People don't normally appreciate something that's just given to them. Is that part of the incentive as to why they are asked to pay a fee?
Yes, yes, they kind of buy into it, but the other piece is it covers the drug test itself. There are so many incentives that, like the school does, for a certain amount of days being drug-free, students can they can buy a ticket with their drug-free card to the prom. So some of those students who can't go to the prom, that's something that they work in, buy a jeans day on days that they're not allowed to wear jeans. And then sometimes there's those little incentives like a candy bar that they can buy. But what we'd like to see is this whole community rallying around drug-free clubs, so that young people know that any business that they go into in Boone County, there are adults that, and not like way or another, it could be just the acknowledge, hey, I see you're drug-free. But, and then we ask that if you're interested that you, window cleaning up, then we'll make sure that you get all of those.
Hey, thanks for your leadership. And the question I have, this is a great program, and the antivirus character training program is outstanding too.
Yes.
Is there a possibility of looking at that and trying to, in the future, to add that program also to the county schools?
Absolutely. I've spoken with Jack Jack Westwood, and I think there is a way of doing that to move this one and then the other, make it.
Give the Rotary announcements or business for the
Boone County Fair, and a new addition to the fair is live music. It's really top-notch bands. I think DV8, which is really well-known in Greater Cincinnati, playing Saturday night, maybe Variety Girls Thursday night. There's a big name, country music entertainer. I can't catch his first name, but his last name's Moore. Not me.
Is it Justin Moore?
Justin Moore. Justin Moore, maybe. He's from Indiana, Dallas.
I was going to say Justin's pretty huge.
Dallas Moore, he's from Indiana, but he's performing tomorrow night. But some really top name entertainers.